Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. Our group, which is Adam, Akmal and Lutfi, will present about our article titled Tax Agents Acceptance of the Digitalization of Tax Administration in Malaysia. This article is written by Susana Cisaruji and Nadia Abdul Hamid from Faculty of Accountancy of University Teknologi Mara, Malaysia. This article is about to engage digitalization of tax administration in Malaysia. Digitalization has the potential to transform the world economy much more than what we see today because it affects not just how we produce and consume, but the kind of goods and service required. It is a simple changing of a communication channel with tax administrators or the transformation of existing service from paper to digital. As people are constantly online and linked, they now expect tax payment to be part of their digital environments. For tax agents, technology intervention will have an impact on their roles in the taxation system. So, tax agents must familiarize themselves with the new technology used in the taxation system. Institute of Chartered Accountants in England and Wales (ICAEW) recommends that each country should take into account the existing and expected functions of tax agents as part of the tax ecosystem. Tax authorities from many countries realize that digitalization will make them stronger, faster and better. Digital tools allow tax administration to be more coordinated and effective in both combating corruption and in improving the quality of tax reporting and tax collection. So, the electronic profiles of National Tax Administration can be divided into 5 groups, which are e-filing, e-accounting, e-match, e-audit and e-assess. For e-filing, all the required information will be filed electronically and matched annually. For e-accounting, accounting or other data source will be submitted in a specified electronic format. Then, for e-match, the government access additional data such as bank statements and starts to match data in real time across tax forms and likely across taxpayers and jurisdiction. And for e-audit, taxpayers receiving electronic audit assessment with the limited response time. Last, for the e-assess, taxpayers given a limited amount of time to review and respond to the tax determined by the government. Tax agents will have fewer tasks to do under digitalization, as they will spend less time collecting, reviewing and organizing data from clients. Indicated that in order to successfully navigate current challenges and make the best use of opportunities for growth and the scope offered by digitalization, tax agents need to orient themselves and drive forward transformation. Next is the literature review. Firstly is readiness to accept of the digitalization in tax administration. Tax and transformation service will be delivered to taxpayers by tax agents in response to the impact of current and emerging technologies in order to create cost-effective tax growth. Digitalization penetrates all areas of life and creates new ways to work, communicate and to work together. Thus, the impact of digitalization and the organization goals in digitalization can be identified from 3 different points of view, which is internet efficiency, more efficient way of working through digital means and internal system planning. Second is external opportunities, next business opportunities, new service, new customer and so on within the existing business domain. And lastly is disruptive changes. Digitalization completely causes changes in business roles. In particular, in order to define the user's readiness for digitalization, characterize digital resources as a collection of IT-enabled tools in the form of digitized business, work process and information system through reaching and improving their awareness of digitalization and using digitalization in all process within the organization. Next is perceived usefulness. Some studies have shown that perceived usefulness directly affects the readiness to adopt new technology, including the process of digitalization. Consequently, many users find that if the system is useful to them, they will adapt the system and use the system. Next is perceived ease of use. Perceived ease of use refers to users who believe that technology will ease their physical and mental effort when performing their job. Perceived ease of use has two ways to influence behavioral intention. First, direct effect, and second, and indirectly perceived usefulness. And next, technology infrastructure is seen as an uncomplicated and as something one can or must use in modern society. Becoming aware of the influence and impact of digital technologies and digitalization could bring about more democratic direction for digitalism. Technology infrastructure is not limited to technical support, as it also includes the allocation of adequate and appropriate human resource capacity in the operation and management of the built system. For compliance costs, it is defined as costs incurred by taxpayers or third parties, such as business, in complying with the requirements laid down in respect of a particular tax structure. The cost of compliance may depend on a number of different factors, primarily due to tax laws and frequent changes in taxes. The costs of tax compliance are divided into economic and non-economic costs, which is the economic costs are listed as monetary and time costs, and non-economic costs is stress and anxiety induced by tax adherence. Next is government support and policy. In order to promote digital innovation and encourage the development of this innovation to benefit society, government and regulatory authorities have to play a significant role. To promote widespread public and consumer interest, government and regulatory authorities have to provide general rules that represent societal values and desires and restrict potential negative consequences of such developments. Government support is needed to foster better development to prepare the new generation of youth for the future. Lastly is technology acceptance model, TAM theory. As the model suggests, future digitalization users, including tax agents, may not base their acceptance and willingness to use new technology on their understanding of the utility of IT and how simple it is to use it. Advantage of TAM are its flexibility, adaptability, and logical soundness, making it is the most widely recognized model at the moment. TAM should be used as a basic model for assessing user acceptance for digitalization, with a focus on identifying determinants that may influence tax agents' readiness to move to the next stage of digitalization.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Lutfi Haqeem and I will continue with the research framework. There is independent variables that is a key determinants in the adoption of new technologies, which is perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use. The other independent variables is technology infrastructure, compliance costs, government policy, and government support. This framework is formed based on the research conducted by Ernst & Young, KPMG, and OECD. The report from Asia Development Bank state that risk and success of digitalization together with the tax agents' roles related to the implementation of the digitalization strategies. Next is research method. This study is cross-sectional and the questionnaires are distributed to tax agents in Malaysia. The list of tax agents was obtained from the Inland Revenue Board Malaysia, IRBM's website. Data analysis. This data analysis is using questionnaires. Questionnaires were distributed through email and WhatsApp application to tax agents throughout Malaysia. In a month, 173 questionnaires were written by tax agents. Tax agents were selected because they have more experience as intermediaries between tax authorities and taxpayers. A total of 173 questionnaires were used for further analysis.
So now, I would like to present about findings that include in this article. There are several points that I am going to explain, such as demographic profile, gender, age, length of service, and last but not least is the relationship between tax agent readiness towards digitalization and factors contributing to readiness. Without further ado, let's start with the first point, which is demographic profile. What actually demographic profile is? Demographic profile is an analysis for all the respondents who took part in the study. The analysis presents the result in terms of gender, age, and the working experience of the respondents. It helped researchers to identify patterns that exist within data, the information used to make conclusions about population. Moving on to the next point, which is age. From this study, the distribution of survey to female tax agents has been found to be higher than male. This indicates that more female respondents participated in answering the distributed questionnaires. Next, I would like to talk about the third point, which is age. Most of the respondents are under the age of 31, and the least is above the age of 51. As the distribution of questionnaire is done by email blast and WhatsApp application, it is not unusual to attract the younger tax agent who are more tax savvy. But what is tax savvy? It is a term that used to describe someone who is proficient in the use of computers and other electronic devices. It can also refer to someone who has a good knowledge of software and hardware related to these devices. So, no wonder why people that above the age of 31 is lesser, because they are not getting exposed with gadgets like our generation. Other than that, length of service is one of the points that includes in findings. Length of service is the amount of time one employee worked in their current position. Based on the article, the percentage of the tax agent have a length of service less than 5 years is the most, followed by those who are in the service between 5 to 10 years, and the lowest is 11 to 15 years. Last but not least is the relationship between tax agents' readiness towards the digitalization and factors contributing to readiness. There are two main points, which is perceived usefulness and perceived ease of use. The perceived usefulness is the subjective perception of users where they believe that using certain technologies can improve the performance of their work. It makes the tax agents become more ready to digitalization. Next up is perceived of ease of use. It refers to the degree to which a person believes that using a particular system would be free of effort, but there is no impact on tax agent readiness.
Conclusion. Tax agents are ready to accept digitalization if it is to facilitate taxation in the era of Industry 4.0. Digitalization is seen as advantageous to tax agents. The benefit of opportunities offered by digitalization and use it to automate process, reduce costs, increase efficiency, remain competitive, and drive innovation and new business models. While the respondents acknowledged that they are ready for digitalization, they also admitted that adopting the updated digital environment is too difficult to be useful, but most of them are willing to learn and participate in the digitalization of tax administration, and they need time to get used of it. According to this study, IRBM will be the one who benefits the most. Identifying factors that will affect tax agents' readiness may assist the IRBM to realize that there are several gaps in the system that other studies have not uncovered. The information provided in this study may be used by the IRBM to decide which factors contribute most to the process of digitalization. This is crucial in order to avoid any unnecessary government investment to upgrade tax administration. This study also provides a platform for tax agents or tax practitioners to respond to the digitalization of tax administration and voice their concern about new system. Furthermore, digitalization can enhance their workflow and may contribute to assisting and supporting their clients' tax compliance. Tax agents can act professionally on behalf of their client in compliance with the SAF deadline as well as with the rules and regulation without any error. Overall, this study is helpful in the sense that it allows practitioners and academicians to have a better insight and understanding about digitalization of tax administration in Malaysia. That's all from us. Thank you.